Okay, so ITZY having to come back, kill my doubt. I saw this photo of Yuna wearing this Hot Wheels belt, and I knew I had to make it. And I know I'm qualified because I did 2 years of costume design school before I dropped out because it made me horribly depressed. Yeah, if there's anyone better to make this belt, I'd like you to find them because clearly I have the qualifications. So I went to Dollar Tree and I got all of my supplies for about like $20. And we're just gonna see where this takes us. I do need to decide which belt I'm using as the base. Probably this like thicker black one. Both of these belts also I just had, they're not from Dollar Tree. Probably this one. So while I unbox all of these Hot Wheels and get this belt assembled, I thought I would discuss something very important to me. And that is fictional high schools. I'm a big fan of like cheesy teen media, and I have a lot of opinions on some of these schools. I know these bitches aren't getting an education at some of these places. I swear to God. Like, you think Miss Buffy Summers herself learned a goddamn thing at Sunnydale High? I don't think so. That girl was serving looks and killing vampires, and that was it. I saw her ass in a classroom maybe like 3 times, whole series. I would do top 10, but honestly, I don't think there's enough to fit my iconic status to qualify in the top 10. So we are going to do a top 5, and they're ranked by certain criterias. For example, how accessible are they? You know, is this a public school? Is this a private school? Are we keeping certain people out of these communities? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that classism. And then we also are rating based on how good of an education I think someone could get at these schools. Just based on teachers, what we get to see at the classes. Let's just say that's like, we don't get to see a lot of that in like teen high school shows or shows set in schools. So that's probably gonna be the lowest of importance, but it's still a good thing to consider. Like, could this school get me into Harvard? You know, like, could she get me into an IB? Actually, any school could get you into Harvard. If you go to Harvard, how does it feel to go to the baby Ivy League school? Another thing that we will be rating on is icon status. How prevalent is this location, these characters in the pop culture, and more importantly, to me specifically. Let's get started. Number 5 has to be William McKinley High from Glee. Now, I stopped watching Glee after they went to college because who are these flops at William McKinley High School? Where's my Rachel? Where's my Kurt? I just didn't really care about anyone that was left. But despite some of the questionable teachers, I'm looking at you, Mr. Shu. Imagine you go to school and you see Coach Sue Sylvester berating someone in the hallway, saying the most vile shit you've ever fucking heard in your life. My ass would be sat. I would be pulling up to class every day. I had terrible attendance in high school, okay? There was like a month straight where I just didn't go to school. That would not have happened there. I can ensure that. I can tell you that right now. Curriculum-wise, not great. We do have this white man that can barely speak Spanish as the Spanish teacher. So that's maybe not the best thing in the world. Like, do we see these kids in any class besides like cheer and glee club? Or do those even count as classes? They don't count as classes. Those are clubs. I have no clue what these kids are learning. And I have no clue how Rachel Berry went to school in New York. Her ass would get eaten alive there, I can tell you that much. But it is iconic, like the aesthetic. You think Glee, you think every morning I wake up. Like, you think of that, you think of them and their little cheerleader uniforms. You think of Sue Sylvester and her iconic track suits. You think about how much you hate Will Schuester. And if you don't hate Will Schuester, analyze that about yourself. Number 4 is near and dear to my heart. And that is Degrassi. Like, the whole school is in it. Like, that's the name of the show, Degrassi. Like, Degrassi Community School. You ever heard of it? I feel like most people noticed the show where Drake got his start and his character Jimmy got shot and ended up in a wheelchair. What you say? But it is so much more than that to me. I say about seasons 1 through 8 or 9-ish are the best television I've ever seen. And then even after that, even after the OG Degrassi Next Generation class graduates, we get the most iconic Canadian teen love story of all time. And that is Eli and Claire. Chair, as their ship name calls them. People die at this school. People get bullied at this school. There's fires at this school. There's bomb threats at this school. There's so much happening. But at the same time, best teachers ever seen on TV. Like, Snake as the principal? Sorry. When that happened, I was a bit gagged. I was a bit gagged when that happened. Because we do actually see the kids do school stuff. I mean, not a lot of it. But when we do see, I'm like, oh, okay, you're like actually maybe learning something. Good for you. And like they get all these like random weird opportunities. Like a movie gets filmed at their school and this famous director comes to their school, or like they get entered into some prestigious competition where, oh my God, Natasha Bedingfield performs at one of their dances because the student body president like won a raffle for them. Like, why wouldn't you want to go there? I don't understand. I don't understand why Degrassi doesn't get talked about more. It is the most insane show I've ever watched. In the same episode, I'm thinking of this one specifically where there's this character Trinity and she wants to go to the dance with JT. JT wants to go with somebody else. And Trinity's dealing with that, and she's also kind of trying to figure out what color dress does she want to wear? What color dress does she want to wear to the dance? Meanwhile, my girl Paige is fighting for her life, dealing with her trauma. Like, that is the dichotomy of like the main plot and subplots in these episodes. And there's so many characters that get followed. And like in Degrassi Next Generation specifically, we follow 3 groups of kids, like 3 sets of like 9th through 12th graders. I'm sure the grades are different in Canada, but I'm not Canadian. God, can you fucking imagine? Number 3, I don't know if I should count it because it's not like technically a teen high school live action drama, but I'm counting it because it is quite honestly the most iconic one on this list to me, and that is Ouran Academy from Ouran High School Host Club. I have seen this show so many times. I could quote the entire English dub front to back. Also, this is the coolest Hot Wheel I got. I would like to showcase it real quick before I continue talking about Ouran Academy. Yeah, the Batmobile from Dollar Tree. Like, come on. This was $1.25. And now I get to have it on a belt? Are you kidding me? And on 3 special cars, I will be attaching a magnet to the back and then to the front of the belt so I can magnet together. And then you can take 3 of these cars off of the belt and then go vroom, vroom, roll, roll. I'll show you with one of these open ones already. You can go vroom, vroom, roll, roll. And like, imagine you're out to dinner. You're a little bored, you're waiting for food, and you just have a little toy right there. And you can have races with your friends. I'm very excited about this. So, Ouran High School Host Club is my favorite anime. Ever, 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 always will be my favorite anime ever. Nothing can top it. Sorry, icon, icon, icon. And I hate how many times we've been baited with, oh, they're remaking Ouran, or we're getting an Ouran season 2. No, we aren't. We never are. And you know what? I've accepted that. But what makes Ouran Number 3 on my list instead of number 1 is the fact that it's a private academy for rich bitches. Haruhi Fujioka is the only poor that goes there. And I just know I'd be, like, I would not be getting in, okay? I'm not as smart as Miss Haruhi Fujioka is. And I want to wine and dine with the host club. I want to get in on all that little drama that's happening. Do we ever see these people do anything school related? No. And that's not the point of this show. I trust that they're getting a good education. Like, these are all hoity-toity rich people who are they're gonna like be doctors and lawyers and shit. They're getting a fine education. Like, I'm not that worried about it. I'm sure if I went there, I would also be receiving a good education, but we don't focus on that in the show because what we're focused on is which guy is Haruhi gonna end up with. I was voting for Mori personally because I love a tall man who knows when to shut up. I love a man that knows when to shut up because I can talk enough for the both of us. Thank you. But she ends up with Tamaki, which is fine. Like, cool slay, Haruhi, Tamaki, one of my first childhood ships. So, not that mad about it. Every day, they have a party at this school. Are you kidding? Like, every day. And I don't know if that's maybe just like the host club's influence or if it would be like that if there was no host club, but they're eating like caviar and shit, and it's like second period. Go off. Also, their uniforms, I don't care. I know a lot of people think these little yellow dresses are ugly as fuck, but I love them. I would not complain about wearing those. Number 2, I briefly mentioned her earlier, is Sunnydale High from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Because we do get to see at least some classes happen. But usually the classes we get to see happen, it's because a teacher or someone in that class is going to die and we need to know who they are. So many people die at this school. It is insane how, like, the national government, the FBI is not, like, SWAT teaming the whole campus. I don't know how any of that works, and I don't care. Every day, well, not maybe every day, every week, you're pulling up to school, and you sit down in your math class, and you turn to your friend Brittany, and you go, "Hey, where's Ashley?" And she's like, "Oh, you didn't hear it? Her decomposed body was found underneath the bleachers, sucked dry of blood." You didn't hear that? You didn't hear that? Like, you didn't hear about that one. And, like, there'd just be so many deaths to keep up with. It would be exhausting, and I would be living for it. And also, like, I do acknowledge, if I went there, I would be one of the bitches that probably dies. Like, I would be that little cold open first girl to die. Not last girl. I'm the first girl to die. Drew Barrymore's Scream style. And I'm okay with that. I know that's the part I play in the community of Sunnydale. Buffy's there. She's there to literally and figuratively slay. Hi, Winona. This is my cat, Winona. She does not want me holding her like this. Hello, baby. And I'm just there to, like, die and be plot fodder and, like, development for her. And that's okay with me. I would do that for her because I know she'd do the same for me. Also, until I die, which, again, it will probably happen, you know I'm going to that library every day to look at that fine-ass librarian, Mr. Giles. Sorry, it's the daddy issues. I don't know what it is, but something about that man gets me. I don't know if it's the accent. I don't know if it's how smart it's like everything. He's everything to me. He's a little bit of everything to me. If I went there, I would try to hang out with Cordelia because she's funny and iconic and I love her, but she would probably be like, "Ew, get away, poor." And you know what? I respect that. I am making a Hot Wheel belt right now, and she would probably be like, "Freak, get away from me." What? Wait, how do you do it? Whatever, major loser. That's how she would speak to me. I'm going to do most of the gluing and stuff off camera just because I want to be able to listen to music or watch a show while I do all of this. And if you're using this as a tutorial for some reason, I don't know why you would. I don't know why you trust me like that, but you're gluing Hot Wheels to a belt, you know? Like, I have super glue, knockoff E6000, I have a belt, I have Hot Wheels, glue. to belt. The end. Like, not that complicated if you ask me. Oh my god, yes. I was making sure the magnets would like attach to each other through the belt, and they do. So, while I pick 3 cars to glue, let's talk about the most iconic high school of all time. Yet again, it's another one where the whole show is named after the school. There's 3 of those on this list. And that is Miss Riverdale herself. I don't care. I know it's bad TV. I know that the plot makes 0 sense. It goes in 12 billion different directions. None of the characters are likable by the end of it. I don't care. I've never been more entertained. I've never been more entertained. And think of, like, in the year of our Lord 2023, name a teen show that is more in the public consciousness. It's iconic status. She's getting mentioned on Twitter every other day. There's reaction memes of her. Honestly, a lot of the actors here are breakout stars, like Miss Lily Reinhart going to the Met Gala a few years ago. I did not expect that. I don't think anyone expected her. It's, again, one of those things where we don't really get to see them in class, but we know they're equal opportunity because their little doors are opened when Southside High closes. They let all of the serpents and their little friends into their school. I'm like, okay, slay. And yes, did the community get upset about that? Of course they did. Miss Alice Cooper was not happy. But we don't actually know. Alice is iconic, quite honestly, best parent on the show, except for Fred Andrews. Rest in peace, Fred. Quite genuinely, I mean that. He was fantastic. But yeah, besides that, every other parent on the show is a flop. We're not talking about the parents of the show, though. We're talking about Riverdale High and why I would like to go there. I would not hang out with anyone from the main squad, except maybe Betty. And, like, I want to say Cheryl, but I feel like in theory, Cheryl and I could be friends. In practice, it just wouldn't work. We're both too strong of a personality. I would be her girlfriend, though. Like, if she would have me, I would love to be that woman's girlfriend. I just can't think of, really and truly can't think of a more iconic teen high school. I can't think of one that would be more favored, in my opinion. Every time I watch that show, I'm cackling at something. And people need to recognize it for what it is, which is the best bad media of all time. And the writers know that. The writers know exactly what they're doing. They said, we know that we've been given garbage to work with. And the actors. After, like, season 1, none of the actors are going to be there. You can tell, you can see it in their eyes, especially, once again, my girl, Miss Lily Reinhart. You can see the way she craves death in her eyes and how happy she was when the show finally wrapped. We go from just, ooh, murder mystery, who done it, who killed Cheryl's brother, to extra dimensions and demon gargoyle kings and evil D&D and superpowers and death cults, and it's beautiful. Oh my god, Chad Michael Murray goes to space? Like, he builds a rocket and goes to space. Name another show where you get to see Chad Michael Murray himself of A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff fame. Name another situation he would be put in where he gets to go to space. That little bitch, that little blonde bitch went to space.
I mean, like, have you ever seen anything more slayful? And look at this, look at this. Oh, Batmobile comes off.
Hi, it's another day and my hair is wet, so I will not be showing you my face because, ew. Look at her. Look at this belt. Look at it. And look. And I can go vroom, vroom, vroom. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is it. This is the look. I'm never taking this belt off, quite honestly. Oh, one of my little magnet boys just went down. We're gonna have to figure out how to keep those on better. I need stronger magnets, for sure. But, yeah. This is the look. Okay, that's all. Bye.